So the difficult thing on this project will be to add curves on the outside. For the inside curves, we are going to use flex curve. For the outside curves, I'd like you to construct arcs properly. So that's what I will be looking for. Okay, so everybody who is here today is going to do a magnificent job because we're going to draw it together on a side. My house is rotated poorly. I don't have room up there. Our curves are actually here. I'm going to draw it separately. What you need to do to construct this curve of the patio on the outside between the veranda, which is hatched again, and the deck, which is hatched, and I would just go with 6 inches, not as dense as my drawing. But where it says patent concrete patio, that was a curve constructed, and you have to tell contractor, what do you want? If you don't give contractor dimensions like I did all around, they're going to give you whatever curve they want. And it may not be pretty. So what I have is constructions that I need you to follow. So if this is the line where the deck ends, we have dimension of 10 inches here, okay? 10 inches. Then we have dimension of 5'9". 5'9", so we have 10 inches, 5 feet 9. That is where the curve becomes horizontal, okay? Then we have curve 4'6", and I believe that is the end that takes us towards steps to the veranda. So what we're going to do is we have to look at this. What do we need to draw an arc? With a compass. What do we need, ladies and gentlemen? But most of the students are going to fudge it with templates or do that French curve, but I actually request you to use your compass once. And if you haven't bought compass, we'll share, I'll bring you mine, but I want you to use compass for the correct construction of the arc for this. So how would we do the arc? We have 10 inches, and then we have 5'9". What do we have in the other direction? We have 6'10". To this horizontal line, we have 6'10". Okay, 6'10" and 5'9". Which one is the arc, 6'10" or 5'9"? The smaller one must be the arc. So what's the difference between 5'9" and 6'10"? There is, ladies and gentlemen, 11 inches, 6'10", 5'9", and 13 inches difference where this arc starts and ends. Okay, so where is it? The arc starts here, so the difference is not on this end. The difference is on the other end. So we have to measure this, and that is the center of our curve. That's where we're going to put a compass. The compass needs to have radius of 5'9" in both directions. So now we're ready to draw the first arc. And ladies and gentlemen, once you do the light construction, okay, light construction, don't draw the light arc, take the compass, place it in your constructed center and draw a nice dark arc and nothing else, okay? The biggest lesson is you have to find center, beginning, and end. That is perfect 90 degrees lines and perfect quarter of an arc to draw this curve. So we need start, end at 90, and we need the center. Okay? Now that we have that, we continue certain distance until the next curve start, and that straight distance is that 1 feet 11. Oops, I don't have it. So there's 1 feet 11 straight part here before we actually hit the 4'6". So I'm going to move my construction line further because we have, what is it? 1 foot 11. We're going to take a picture of it. Let's don't confuse people who are not here. 1 foot 11 is where in between the curve goes into straight line. Then we have 4'6", and what's the other dimension in this direction? We have 4'6", then 5'2". So from here on, we have the second one is 5'2". So is the radius 4'6" or 5'2"? 4'6". So where the curve ends, we need to subtract the difference, and that is now going to be our center, and that's going to be the end. Oops, the other way around. So we're ready to draw the next dark curve, because we have constructed, so the center will be here. We have constructed the beginning, end, and center. We'll draw two dark arcs first. I'm going to go over it many times. Now, when you have the curves, the next trick of the trade is draw arcs first dark, then take your pencil, and if you want to have a masterpiece, I would take the same lead as I drew the arc. I would literally take it out from my compass in case they're different, and put it in my pencil, and finish straight line, not where my construction line is, but where the curve ended, for the smooth transition. Where the curve ended, I'm going to finish with the straight line, connect the two arcs, even if I have to go slightly on an angle. Wherever compass ended, you now have to connect the two ends of curves meticulously. Meticulously, forget horizontal, vertical. Meticulous connection of the curves. And then the same at the very end, finish with vertical line wherever the arc ends, not where your construction is. Constructions are light, they remain. The end product is a beautiful curve constructed the best you physically could with your hand. Okay? So that's the curve, and then you can do whatever pattern you want. You can do concrete, you can just do dots. And I think then there is a circle in the deck that in my drawing the hatch went right through. Not so perfect AutoCAD drawing, but in reality, when you hatch the deck boards, you could leave them out of the tree. That represents the tree. There's steps which are the same dimension, so that we established that the tread is 9 inches and the riser would be, let's call it 8 inches, but they are, if you want to put a note, but per code you have to be, I believe, 1/8 less than 8 inches. So if you draw the offset for stairs 9 inches, then you can do the same thing for the outside steps. Or the outside steps would probably build from standard lumber, which would be either 8 or 10 inches, or maybe even 12 inches. Or 2 2x6 boards, okay? Anything else, ladies and gentlemen, that we should cover? Have we covered it all? Okay, yes, there is something. I would draw the deck and the arcs on the main floor. Then you can either make a Xerox copy if you're working on one sheet and slide it underneath, and copy the construction lines for your curves. The technique will be exactly the same, it's just you're not measuring, but establishing construction lines and drawing curves exactly in the same spot. The second floor still shows the deck and the curve, it's just not as dark. Because if you're a bird flying above the house, at about second floor level, you would still see it, you just would see it much higher. So the lines are lighter and will no longer show hatching. On the main floor, it's a medium line way because we're seeing it, we're right above it. Anything else, ladies and gents? Title block. We're doing the standard title block, the way we did the big projects on big sheets. You have it in the appendix. You don't have to lay it out with regards to where the square box is. The square box on your title block, I don't know, we haven't really talked about title block. I send you to it, but there is two square boxes. One is at the very end, and you've been doing this quite well. This is where drawing number goes. This is Park Road House. It's architectural, so let's call it A1, A2 if you have to. This circle, ladies and gentlemen, you know architects and engineers are often required to stamp the drawings. This is where you can use, again, circle template and put a circle in it and then use your fancy signature as you're taking responsibility for your work. But every year I get students signing here with their squiggly signature and not putting their name in the box. And I can't figure out who they are. So yeah, the squiggly signature is there to beautify your drawing. It's not for me to evaluate you, so you still need to give me your last name here per standard title block. As I'm going through your projects, which generally look really, really good, I'm really pleased with your accomplishment. but certain things, I'm repeating them because maybe we missed it. The title block needs to be dark. So your darkest lines are title block margins and the walls. Then, if you're confused, things that belong to the projects are medium and visible and quite dark. Descriptions like dimensions, they're important, but they are not part of the building, so they're light air. They should not be the big things. Your ticks are proportionally. If your text is about, so you have your guidelines and your text says 3 feet 0 inches, the ticks in proportion are about like this. So they are done with a small 45 triangle or a big one. Or a big one. You do it against the set square. If you don't do it against set square, you're going to have a drawing that has one line like this, one line like that, one line like something else. It's not going to look good. So they are about the same size, you guessed it, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay? And they are all on 45. Guideline extensions, they all should be kind of standardized, kept clean through standardized layout. And the drawing looks really, really good for your portfolio. Make sure you have the project title, which is Park Road House. Don't write Dorota Goede design, write main floor plan, upper floor plan. Mohawk College as a design office, and then we have scale. I put down NTC. Do you know what NTC stands for? Not to scale, because I didn't want students to trace it. NTC stands for scale. Remember, this is my drawing, my layout. This is your drawing, your layout. You have a scale. You have to put down, and don't write quarter, 1/4 inch. That's not how we write it. 1/4 inch equals 1 foot dash 0 inches. This is what belongs in title block. And then your name, date, you can say fall 2015. There is a project number, you can call it fall 0F, FOF. How about FOF? That sounds good. So there's an office would have project number. Let's say I design houses, I may have 5 houses that I do in a year, so this will be 005. So projects have always systems of numbering. So we have drawing A1, A2. If you are going to do the site, then A0, okay? Or it's one big sheet. Questions? We're good? I think you've made a tremendous progress. If you just apply all this to your drawing, you're here, you're listening, then you're going to have a great portfolio. And I am done teaching. Thank you. You've been the best class for recording.